Fillets. Not the type you like. The best kind. He loves them. I love them. They're needed. They help everything. They make things look good. And they're fun to just mess around with, really. You know, they can be the make or break for most prints, you know, like, I guess we'll start off. So you can fillet two different type of ways, basically. So you can do, you know, if I take it back to the beginning with this one, I just filleted the edges here. But what you can also do is when you go into the sketch, you can sketch the fillet pre-extrusion, really. But if you did that, you wouldn't be able to change it easily as if you did it this way. Because if you just did a 3D fillet, right, you can select all those corners and then change it however you like, right? But if you did it in the sketch, so if we take that away, and then we went back to the sketch, and you did, you know, you wanted all four corners filleted like so, well, now you'd have to change every dimension, right? I don't know if you can change that dimension at all. Yeah, so that's even a bigger, you know, I guess red flag almost is, oh, now you can, okay. Okay, so you can change it for each one. I don't like that though. So we'll just, you know, Control Z, Command Z, undo all of those. And now you've got it back in 3D. I think the 3D is better too because you get a better sense of, you know, what it's gonna look like in 3D, you know, because like you can look at a sketch all day long and be like, oh, it's just gonna look like that. But when you actually look at the, you know, the full part in its 3D form, and then you check it out, I think it looks a lot better. And then you can analyze it more, you know, especially with something like this. You know, like we want this back fillet here, because if this wasn't here, this part extruding up would most likely, well, I mean, not most likely, it'd be more prone to, I guess, break, you know, like there's not much structure behind it, you know. If there's any forces coming onto it like this, it might crack, it might break. But if you add this fillet right here, so we had it at 15, now that breaking point is about midway up, which significantly helps it out, right? And then also, as far as usability goes, you know, fillets are very useful. Okay, I know I keep using your favorite word. Fillets are very useful for just usability in general, right? So if you just had a crease down there, or an edge, I would say. Are you done? You want to get done? There it is. Then, you know, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is basically fillets make everything look better. They help the printer out. You know, there's not as such sharp angles. And it gives structure, you know, and with prints, that's what you're really looking for, is that structure almost. And even then, you know, if you're printing something like this, say, and this was thinner, right? Because if we select this line and hit I, you know, that's 3 millimeters thick, right? So I mean, it's not a lot, but it's enough to get the job done. But say it was 0.5 millimeter thick, it would be more prone to breaking during printing and during usage if it didn't have the fillet. But now that that fillet is right there, and it has, you know, that fracture point almost halfway up the body, then it helps a lot better. Structurally, aesthetically, all of that, right? So that's kind of the thing. You know, you always want to mess around with fillets. You always want to see where can you add them to not only make it look, you know, smoother and more natural forming, you know, because at the end of the day, a curve is going to look more organic than just a square, right? You know, because, and you know, you can even get into it like, oh, I want this bottom pieces all filleted up. I'm not sure how well that would work because it's such a weird, yeah. We probably have to deselect that one right there. Yeah, so you see how it kind of, you know, if we wanted to, we could probably add them throughout all of these. And it pretty much gives it more of a structure to lean onto versus just it being flat, you know? So very important to think about when you're printing, especially, because like I said, that can really make or break it. I believe that's everything, really. You know, and it's, you can chamfer stuff too, but fillets basically provide a gradual, you know, a gradual curve, and it's not just angles, right? It's a gradual increase or decrease, whatever you want to call it, you know, and that's a lot more beneficial in the long run. That's, yeah, I mean, that's it. Use fillets wherever you can. Mess around with it. Do whatever you want to do with it. You know, like another one with, you know, with the mushroom, you know, adding it at the bottom makes it look more organic, right? And yeah, pretty much wraps it up for fillets. Gotta love them.